Hello, and we are back with our deciding game of the upper bracket here between Team EVOS versus WarriorsGaming.Youth squad. It's been an exciting 2 games so far, both games stretching over an hour each. And of course, my name is Hades, my co-caster with me PQMZ. Hello PQ, are you ready for game 3?
Just about. It's been pretty long so far, and it looks like the graphs changed up quite heavily.
Immediate respect ban as well. Whew, these guys do not want to play against Monkey King. Not anymore, at least.
10 seconds.
Oh, they had first picks, so they could have got it if they wanted to, but really high priority on the Weaver, which when it started getting run as like a 4 position, it kind of warranted being first picked, I think, but it's been a really long time since that was in favor, so they've got something in mind.
Hopefully, but I don't know, Weaver, I'm not a fan of just this hero being picked up so early, that's all. Like, it feels very weird for me.
I think if you are comfortable running it as a 3 or a 4 in your lineup, then it's okay. Like, the CIS teams used to do it a lot, and they used to have a lot of success, but I just don't think it's got the same impact as, like, Monkey, Sladder, Earth Spirit. So you see it fall off as a pick priority, and you generally just put it as your 1. Which does not favor being first picked. That being said, they didn't exactly counter it. It's like Beastmaster's horrible against Lincoln heroes. Lena struggles the same way. So could be a lot of a better Weaver game than you'd think.
Okay, just want to ask your thoughts a bit more on this Beastmaster pick. Like, I mean, I understand, like, back then they did used to run Beastmaster a lot when LGD first came up with it. Like, they played as a greedy 4. It doesn't seem like that would be the case. And Warriors Gaming actually one of the few teams to run Beastmaster in their picks quite often. They're quite confident to pick. But okay, are there any heroes in general which you would see synergize well with this? Perhaps like a Troll Warlord.
Heroes that utilize vision are generally the ways to go, or people who like the Hawk to TP onto, so Tinker, etc. Or anyone that just rushes BOTs can work, but kind of like what I was saying to you in Skype, Beastmaster's not one of those heroes that just like goes in and creates high impact in fights. It's normally either going in for a pick-off or kind of waiting for the fight to develop a tiny bit and then finding the key hero. And that's kind of what Warriors were lacking last game. So they rectify it a bit here with the Earth Spirit.
Is he that go hero though, like in the sense like he can stand on the front lines? I don't really see him as that kind of hero, to be honest. Maybe because I don't play that much Earth Spirit. He's
better than what they had last game, at the very least.
Radiant team
like,
pick.
Everyone on their team kind of needed some kind of information. Earth Spirit, he's like a 4 position. He can go in, drop his spell, start a fight, and you're okay with that happening. And if you've got a Hawk, then you've also got a lot more vision, so I'm not sold on Beastmaster. I think the hero is tier 2, tier 3 at best. But if you can play around the vision and you have a game plan, then anything's good.
But now Disruptor, Centaur, Weaver. Oh, Team EVOS. The draft feels very, I don't know, it almost feels like they need some extra setup along with the Disruptor. But they already have the Centaur, and
they can get that now, though.
They can get what?
The setup, like they can. There's a lot of options for them.
Glimpse back, all that.
But I like their lineup so far. It's very synergistic. Warriors feels like a throwback to the past, minus Felina. And like Luna drafts in general, they've fallen off with good reason. That
base damage nerf really hit her hard. You don't see this hero being picked up as much. And not to mention where Shadow Demon as well, illusions take more damage, like up to 300% I believe. But still, I mean, just pointing on the fact that, you know, you can TP into a Hawk, like you said, the Tinker, I think that actually does pretty well this game. The only downside is they would have to sacrifice putting the Lina into a support position this time, and Trion hasn't played that much Tinker, from what I believe, from what I understand, at least from the WG.Y Youth squad. Let me check the Dota buff.
I mean, if you don't play the hero, then you don't play the heroes, but it's just an option. I don't think they want something like Tinker with Luna. I think they would want, I don't know, more like a DK hero. Something that, or just something that adds more control to the fights. Because right now, they have a lot of stuns, but they're very single target heavy if heroes aren't overcommitting to get on one target. And it doesn't even look like EVOS particularly wanting 5-man fights. They want like smaller skirmishes or advantageous fights where they can find a pick through glimpse or bursting someone down with a centaur initiation and then continuing the fight. Because once they're up in the fight, they're going to run you down and they're going to find more kills. Stampede, glimpse, TA traps, Weaver, they're all really good chasing heroes.
So with the TA pickup, and this makes things a bit okay. I was gonna suggest Alchemist, but I realized it's banned out. It's banned out, and yeah, I did check. They've only picked Tinker like 4 times out of like all the matches, and they have a.
Well, if they pick it, it's at least they can play it right.
Yeah, and one of the downsides is they have a really low win rate with Tinker, on 25% actually.
Yeah, this is not the game you want Tinker. I actually think you want like a Dazzle, and you throw the Lina mid. Because you kind of just want your Luna to get to the point where she's so big she can 1v5. Or not necessarily 1v5 in a traditional sense, but sit her in the front being confident enough that if she gets gone on, she's going to get graved, and then at some point of the game you're getting a Satanic, and you just draw the focus and kind of carry your team through your frontline presence. And then it gives you time for your Lina to pick and choose the right moments to go in. She's also an amazing sieging hero, so they've got 2 heroes that hit buildings really well. And they've got vision, they've got initiation so far. If they ever get gone on, they die. They're all so fragile. They rely so much on like taking a correct fight, which is why I was thinking Dazzle, but the hero is probably not on their radar.
You don't usually see C teams pick up the Dazzle. Like, they usually want something more aggressive, at least, or something with a stun. But I mean, Dazzle in its own right can be aggressive as well. It's just that the only time where I really saw like a Dazzle pick was maybe with like Meepo or PL, something where you can really, it's easier to set up the chain heal bomb. Or like even a Tuskar.
Oracle would work as well, I suppose, but yeah. I'm just on about some kind of saving hero.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I was curious about why Warriors Gaming would ban out the Ursa, but it looks like EVOS was just trying to bait it out, and instead, yeah, this will be a Weaver support, so a roaming Weaver. Okay.
I think it's a pretty good game for it. Like, they could even just go aggro. Or, maybe they don't need to go aggro. They could just do dual lanes. Jug and Disruptor can zone a Beastmaster, even if Earth Spirit helps out pretty comfortably, if the Disruptor doesn't overextend, and then Weaver Centaur is going to cause Luna a lot of issues if they don't pick up a really strong support right now. I think if they put Lina as a support, then they have issues. I like EVOS's lineup a lot. They lack a tiny bit in stuns, but they have chase potential, and they have a lot of just like sustainable laners, huge amounts of damage, Roche potential, tower pushing. They play well at nearly all stages of the game. It's a very safe, well-rounded draft.
If they put the lean on support, I mean, Invoker is still in the pool, they go for the Ember Spirit instead. Ember actually works pretty well against Templar Assassin as well. That Flame God, at least it guarantees like he has to be involved in the fights. It's not like that old physical right-click Ember of the past patches where you could just split push a lot, and even then, even with all that farm, you still don't win games. So, okay, mid Ember, I can see this happening. With the Lina as well, they can...
It's horrible.
You think it's horrible? Why?
It's against a Disruptor, dude. Like, if you don't dodge that glimpse with your remnants, then you just die. And I have almost never seen equal level players win against a TA. I think TA will normally win that matchup. The issue is Earth Spirit's really good at roaming, whereas Weaver's it's a bit harder for him, so that they can pressure her in the lane that way. But worst to worst, they just send the Weaver mid and TA goes and farms Ancients. And he's going to have more farm than Ember. Because that's just how the game works. Ember has to get a lot done through like team fights. And I don't know. I don't think it's a good Ember game. I'd love to be proven wrong because I love the hero. But I don't know, their lineup just looks so fragile.
No,
You like
maybe because I'm thinking about it like just an Ember versus Templar matchup. In that sense, I think it's okay, because Disruptor and Jug, I think that's scarier for the Beastmaster, because if Beastmaster doesn't, he's a very greedy offlaner. If he doesn't do well, then he's just gonna like be spending a lot of time farming, like you said. And we agreed that over Skype before the game 3 started that farm distribution was a thing. So like, yeah, that's why I was kind of worried that this game they would do the same thing, and they are. So who
they have
knows?
4 really greedy heroes.
Very greedy. Alright, so gonna introduce the teams quickly. Trion playing on the Ember Spirit. On the Radiant side for WG.Youth, Wen playing on the Beastmaster, you have Yang. And the Lina, Xiang playing on the Luna with WL on the Earth Spirit. Dire side for EVOS, these guys they've fought really hard till now. iLogic playing on the Juggernaut, doesn't have the red style. Tuhoi playing on his Disruptor. Rams playing on the TA. Vlysu playing on the Weaver, with Avil playing on the Centaur. So we were discussing like farm distribution right now, and Beastmaster doesn't seem like those kind of heroes where you get a dagger, boom, you're pretty much set. Like that's all you need to do. With a Beastmaster, it feels like you have to achieve so much more, considering you're going to be getting a lot of farm.
30 seconds to battle.
It can be that way, but I feel like the whole purpose of their draft is to get to a point where Luna hits towers and the other team doesn't have a response. And I think to do that, they have to do a lot of smart plays with their supports. Because this isn't going to be a game where you can just sit in the lane with Lina and zone out an offlaner and pull and let your carry get farm. I think you're going to have to like move the Earth Spirit around to the correct lanes at the correct times really well. Be in the right position when heroes want to go, or when your heroes are just about to level up, so you can net kills. Because Luna's not going to have a fun time in this lane. Lina's a really weak support against any kind of aggressive dual lane, unless there's like a lot of kill potential. And Earth Spirit doesn't really have that at the moment. Like both of them are just going to be able to walk away 9 times out of 10, and then shrine up and come back and be like, "What's she going to do now?"
And already with the Shikuchi getting a couple of hits in, the roll will land into Vlysu. They get a nice stun, landing into Centaur, but they want a big target, which is Vlysu. Has a Shikuchi in one. Oh, he's actually really low, but nice double stomp will save his teammate for now.
If they landed that stun on him, because like, he played so ballsy at the start, then they could have killed him, but them forcing the Earth Spirit down here means TA is not getting zoned out mid, which means she's probably going to get the better half of the CS in the first wave or two. Ember kind of, he wants his Quelling Blade if he's going for it, and he also wants for levels and Flame Guard to push out the lane, whereas TA, you just side blade and you automatically get lane control.
He's actually opting to go for the wand first because he knows of the incoming spam, at least going up against his Weaver and Centaur. Who knows, maybe he might get the wand.
This is really common in tri lanes, or contested lanes, sorry, better way to put it. You almost always start with that. It's just so stat efficient.
Tron playing very aggressively against Ravens, but unfortunately the creep wave, he needs to be careful. Using the Slide of Fist, he might actually die here. Is he gonna pop it? Rams! Oh no, he's just gonna salve up just in the nick of time. So very, very close shave, cutting it close. Only a level 1 Flame Guard. Or is it level 2? Saw that wrong. He actually went for 2-1.
He just leveled up.
Yeah, that
so
was
it was
really
level
lucky.
1 at the time. He would have died there if he didn't skill Slight, I think, so... Speaking of dying, dying to 2 heroes bottom, not something you'd expect, but I'm guessing he got caught out on like half health and got a bit greedy and didn't want to shrine while his Weaver wasn't there. So that's really good for them, being able to kill the Centaur. But they are running low on regen, and 1 kill on the hero isn't that big a deal. He's just going to TP back to the lane.
I realized like pretty much like throughout these games we have seen quite a number of pauses actually, and
not too long, luckily.
yeah, hope it's a good thing, because otherwise that would indicate something's really going on wrong. Disruptor just kind of hanging around looking for the courier. You don't usually see Disruptor do courier slams, do you?
I guess he just feels like he can't do too much top.
Ooh, Tron, he needs to be careful. Those side blades doing quite a fair bit of damage. Rams has been very, very on point with this part. Ooh, even pops the Fairy Fire just in case. That was a really close one. One more hit, he probably would have died there.
Yeah, he's not having a fun time in his lane.
I think it just boils down to like Rams getting those continuous side blades up, or getting the stun. But Yang actually could be dying down here. One more hit, yep, he dies.
So,
I actually like this Weaver build. Like the way he's probably going to build into more points into the Swarm instead of the Geminate. I think that's really good. It's more kill potential.
oh, you definitely get Swarm if you're going for like kills early, but he probably just goes 1-for-1, same way every Weaver does. The Geminite is just 2 value. But I think you definitely max Swarm as a support. It's just such a strong spell. Yeah, back to this mid lane. I just think the TA is playing better. Like if you're getting side blade hits and tanking to like half life, you lose the lane straight up. Embers can't play aggressive if he's not full health. And if you can't play aggressive with this hero in this lane, then TA is just going to outfarm you.
And the bulk of Ram's damage is, of course, it's going to be physical damage. So the Flame God, you don't have to worry. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. You just, I mean, if anything, it's just there to break refraction charges, but that's it. But the extra damage is, of course, still going to be there. And you can see Tron being forced once more into a very passive position, looking for runes, and he's just going to content himself with a bounty rune instead.
And this is mostly happening because Earth Spirit hasn't been able to come to the lane yet. And maybe they got the priorities slightly wrong, because this is way worse than if Luna had a slightly slower start. Because she might not be CSing the best, she's a lot more contested than the Jug, but the problem is their supports.
Oh no, dies again to Vlysu, and once again you were right, PQ, like regarding the Lina against aggro lane situations, it's just not good at all. And now you can see they're really struggling, and you can tell Earthspirit wants to rotate to the mid, but there hasn't been a chance. But now, okay, hold on, Lucent Beam to stop him in his tracks to get the stun out. Looking for Yang to get the Light Strike array. Bang's gonna land into him. They should have enough damage with the Lucent Beam. Nice and easy kill. But it looks like WL could be paying for it if it's live. He has a Shikuchi. Actually, no, he does not. Okay, now he will die. Raindrop not gonna be able to save him, but still, that's a killing
good
spree.
trade for.
Killing spree going to Xiang.
I'd rather be the Luna in that situation, but as I said earlier, she has no regen. They're just going to TP back to the lane, and they're probably even going to look to dive. I mean, the Centaur has no boots, actually. He actually has, like, smaller items. So his movement speed's too trash. So even the Weaver has boots. This isn't something you see all the time, but I actually really like it as a support. Because you don't have the mana regen to just spam Sakuchi and move between camps.
Middle lane, Rogue bringing a lot of heresy, but Rams with the haste rune, he's just taunting them, running around in circles. And they don't have good, reliable stuns as well.
Yeah, it's hard to hit, but now they know the supports are there, they could feasibly dive bottom, but they're opting to secure runes instead.
Alright, so Invis rune here for Vlysu. And this Ember has had no luck. He's 16-3. He's less than half the CS of this TA. Well, I guess one thing he should be optimistic about is that they don't have stacks for the TA. Otherwise, that would be a really huge issue.
TA doesn't really need stacks anymore, though. It's like, if you're winning the lane, it's all good. I'm kind of surprised that the rotations to make the ancient stacks and go for the rune hasn't happened, but when you're winning the lane, life just gets a lot easier.
Vlysu getting a bit too sneaky, but getting outplayed as well. With the very, very lucky, fortunate sentry there. Otherwise, who knows? Maybe that could have been a kill. We never know. And TA actually is going to be stacking before going back to the lane. Oh, they want to go again once more to the center with the Lucent Beam. They should have enough damage into Avil. That right click from Xiang going to finish him off.
Clearly not your best.
And with a new stack of tangos, he's just going to be able to stay in lane a bit easier.
No, they're finding a lot on this bottom lane. I think Centaur's just... He thinks he's either tankier than he is, or he expects for Weaver to be able to get, like, more turn kills.
Oh, Trion middle lane could be dying here to Rams, but that Flame God, oh, it's not gonna save him. So Rams, popping the Fairy Fire just in case. And
he's having a really good game.
And he has the Shrine as well. I think one thing about Trion is that he's not used to losing a lane. He doesn't seem to come back that easily, because so far, like, at least from the previous games, I've noticed like whenever, you know, the youth team, whenever they win, it's because Trion has a good start. Otherwise, I think he tilts a bit. I'm not sure what it is, but he struggles to come back up. And that's where you can also see the downsides of having a team which is very greedy in this lineup.
Yeah, which is why I wasn't sold on the Ember pick. Because this is, it's not a good hero to play from behind. If your team can help you, then just your spells is generally enough. But if you can't even fight them because you're losing multiple lanes or whatever, it just creates this, like, you're a melee creep that hits waves and makes them push. And that's all you kind of do if you aren't strong enough to fight. Because this game, you're not going to pick a TA on her own most of the time.
with the roll. Oh, they kick him back. Oh, he meant to kick him to his teammates. Bit of a mistake there. But PQ, I'm going to prove... I hope they prove you wrong, because this is C Dota, you know. For some reason, C Dota, anything happens. Anything.
I'll take that one step further, and lower level teams make games look a lot different as well.
But given, like, at least with the tier 2 teams, they tend to be able to... I would say sometimes they actually have the potential to reshape the meta. Some of the strats you see in tier 1 teams were adopted from tier 2 teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they just happen to know how to, like,
I'm just talking about the execution.
Yeah, that's
like
for sure.
that first game. If that was 2 tier 1 teams playing the same way, it doesn't go 60 minutes. And I don't mean that to, like, flame these teams. It's just state of fact. At the very least, though, they have provided very, very entertaining games.
They have entertainment value for all of you guys all the way in Twitch and of course in Dota TV. Thank you all for tuning in, and we hope this game 3 actually will be just as entertaining. If anything, more entertaining would be pretty good as well. I would like to see some really good things. I mean, Indonesians, they are actually known for their over-aggressiveness sometimes, at least for the most part.
I reckon this will be a pretty scrappy game. Unless EVO get to, like, some really strong fights early, and then they could snowball to a victory pretty quickly. Just because of how squishy the Radiant side are. But if they can find smokes like this and get some early success going, then it equalizes their laning stage deficit.
Getting killed to Rams, that's a big kill. Ilogic's coming in, he wants to use that Omni Slash, but he could just Remnant out of this very easily. And now with the haste rune, even harder to kill him. WL on the cliff might find himself that disruptor. Trion is waiting for him as well. I think they want to go for him. Yep, they are going for this. Rolly, rolly, rolly. Looking for the kick, maybe. Yep, and of course, now there we get the kick and the steering chains. Whoop, what?
Mistimed.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Very unfortunate. Now he's just going to have to walk back to base. Can't find any runes for him. And Ilogic actually almost gets the tier 1 down, but now the TP's coming in. I'm sure he saw that. We have a roar. Yes, we do, but they don't want to go for this. Kill the board instead. Get the gold. Pig.
Yeah, and that chase with the Ember just basically lets his tower die. So they capitalize on it pretty heavily.
He's going to try and run away from this one, but I think he popped that a bit too early. And now, of course, you know, the Stampede's going to keep him there. They popped the roar for this as well. But they have a big Disruptor ultimate coming in. They don't care. They're just going to burn down that TA. And Ilogic Omni Slash not going to be able to kill, but the crit will. And okay, pops the 1 charges. A nice kick coming in from the Earth Spirit WL. And this is what I was talking about, that over-aggression coming out once again. Ilogic getting slowed, but with the spin, actually it looks like he will die, but the Disruptor save with the kinetic field. Very, very big. And actually looks like he will be okay. Vlysu chasing after him, both Earth and Fire, trying to kill him off. Ilogic on the run, and oh, that actually misses as well.
Yeah, the end animation doesn't actually hit you.
What is happening? And oh, they get the stun out onto the Weaver, who's trying to go for that kill onto Yang. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's
YOLO,
going for
boys.
This. YOLO! A time lapse
got his ult. It actually isn't very YOLO if you know you have an escape mechanism, I suppose.
That's true. But alright, I mean, here we are 12 minutes in, people are diving you all the way to your tier 2s, no hoots given even though you have the rest of the team hot on your ass. And they'll get the tier 1.
Just hitting tier 1 towers with no one showing on the map.
No one cares. But one has an Invis rune, they might be thinking about going for this one. Do they have the roar?
It's up in 1 second.
Tactical pause.
And they have
Tactical
Laguna.
pause. I can hear. This is like Twitch going like tactical pause.
Nah, he's dead, man. Are we betting? Do you think he lives?
There's no way he lives. No way. He doesn't have Army Slash.
I mean, if they don't get this kill, they give EVOS some mad respect to other heroes being there, but they know Weaver's not there. They know Centaur's like probably somewhere farming. Yeah, I mean, there's no way they don't go for this, right?
Roar. There we go. Laguna maybe. Bang.
That was a lot closer than I thought it would have been.
I had like a mini heart attack. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna be wrong?
I mean, dealing indefinites as a caster just sets you up for the Twitch flame. But then we entertain them even more, right? If they get to flame us, they get to have fun as well. It's interactive, boys.
Interaction. So this is like, you call this,
And this is
stream activity.
something like that. But that's really huge that they get the kill on Jug, and then Luna gets to rotate to the lane and push a tower. And she's topping the net worth. She's getting pretty tanky with the Dragonlance.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The game's going a lot better for them than I thought it would. I thought they'd have a lot more pressure on them early, and
Money to burn.
EVOS just haven't really been able to. Mostly because their Centaur's been dying all the
Rams,
time. Like.
hold on, getting the melt strike. Oh, those hits though, those hits. He was waiting for it so patiently, and now he has a blink dagger. That's really big for Rams. And okay, I'm not really a TA player, even though I play mid most of the times. But okay, how do you really differentiate before between going for a blink or a desolate?
You go blink if you feel like you can use the item to gain an advantage for team fights.
Oh, hold on, a lot of hate for the disruptor to get the staring chains onto the Jug. He can actually spin this one off, or he doesn't have it. Now with the Stampede, they will run this one away. Looking for the kick, the roll-in won't find it, but will they actually try to do it for a turnaround? I don't think so. And alright, the blink already completed on Rams.
That's so much space though, like 2 lanes just pushing in for free. And they only get a support kill. But if you want to go back to the TA point, you go blink if you either have to split push and they don't have ways of catching you through refract, or you want to team fight more. You go Deso if your team can initiate for you and you have a lot of like either tower sieging capability, or you want to farm more stacks and get to your blink quicker.
Oh, middle lane, he dies. Cooking that horse. 9-7 already. Usually, okay, I have to say this, like, from my experience of casting Chinese games, because most of the times BTS assigns me to Chinese games, and usually they pretty much are like a quarter of the kills by this time.
If that, yeah.
Oh, trying for the kick, he actually gets the TP out. This Lina's not having a good game.
Like, they do calculated aggression. These teams just kind of, they say fucking let's go, let's do this shit, and then if it goes badly, it goes badly. And they kind of just deal with it. Which makes me cringe as an analyst, but...
Oh, Tuhoi going down again.
You know, like, that play is the epitome of this. A Chinese support player does not go and ward there most of the time, because there is a risk of dying. This guy's just like, fuck it. There's no way they'll be here. We just pushed their tier 1. They didn't do anything. They're probably all on the other side of the map, even though you have a ward in their jungle that was showing no one. Or it was just pure greed because his team was getting Roche. He's like, I'll get you some vision, guys, and now that ward's gonna get dewarded and he dies for it. Which is like the worst thing that can happen as a support. Your ward is worth way more than your life. If they don't deward it, then it's worth it, but I see no way that lives.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time like they sacrificed themselves for ward, and we haven't seen a deward. I think we've seen it like several times, even back in game 2 and 1. I remember that happening at all. Like, it's just too hard the way he wards. He just doesn't care. He just walks in, places a ward, or pretends to place a ward. And the same. Well, okay, Yang on the other hand, like I was gonna compare the two of them, Tuhoi and Yang. These guys are usually the ones who die. Like, they get solo killed quite a bit.
Yeah,
smoke up.
I think it also just lends to like how the games are going more now. You pick heroes that can push waves, and if you're
breaking in immediately into the raw, all these units, one dead centaur. Thank you for serving yourself to us. And now, WL, does he go for the TP? I think he does. Yes, he does. Now looking for the disruptor, he gets the silence out. Where's the
Radiant's
roll?
bottom
Does he get the
tower
rolly,
is under
rolly,
attack.
rolly? No. Alright, so of course the glimpse back, and TA just goes back to farming, wants to complete that Desolator. And that's gonna be a
More
huge power
space.
spike. Yeah. Look, with the Deso, do you actually see Rams, like, is he able to kill the Ember Spirit much easier?
If he has a remnant down, then no, but it's TA is just gonna like be a problem. She's not quite as huge as I thought she'd be, because Valuna has actually done a really good job of having stacks and just keeping her farm up from a slightly contested early game. But when it comes down to it, it's a lot easier to have impact on TA with 9k net worth than it is for Luna. Luna is like still pretty fragile.
Oh, they want to fight here. They get the kick onto the Disruptor. He will not be getting a static storm down, but one already dies to Rams. That damage is just too high. With the Melt Strike, will get the kill. Double for Rams, but Xiang, ooh, he dies, but he did bring a Vil with him. And Chuan, they have enough damage with the Laguna Blade to break the Aegis, and now they were just Remnant now. They need to back the hell out of here as he flies through. He's looking for Yang, but won't find it. So it's going to be a 2 for 3 trade, but okay, if you think about it, it's 3 for 3, including the Aegis kill.
I think killing the Luna's enough of a benefit to warrant losing the Aegis, and if they can get damage and maybe even kill this tier 2, then that's icing on the cake for you. His Deso is all the way back in base, so it's going to take a while to get here, but they don't have a good D-push at all. And he also doesn't have his Blightstone in his inventory, so the tower would have actually been dead if he had.
Rolling in.
Or
Okay, he gets the 75 gold from the healing ward.
value. Paid for his TP.
It's always worth it, man. I like the change they did. Like, I think back then, if I recall correctly, Juggernaut healing wards did not give any gold. And I like that they...
No, it didn't.
Yeah, I like how it actually costs so much right now just by take one right click. It's so easy.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Pays for ward as
'Cause
well.
The healing ward is like one of the best summons in the game, and it gives no value for killing it, except that you might not let them go from 0 to 100 in like 10 seconds. Even less than that, but still.
Oh, Weaver is actually going for that Ags, and this is something which RRQ, another Indonesian team, that's what they do. Like Audi, the manager of RRQ, kind of brought this detail to them. Like Weaver support Ags is actually quite strong. They're one of the few teams which ran it, and for a while it worked out. But some teams just learned to play against it, and then they just stopped. But Weaver Ags, I think this would be pretty good, especially on a hero like TA. You talked about that support which saves you. This could be one of those ways.
Oh yeah, this game is absolutely huge, because how Warriors Gaming want to take a fight is Raw, Laguna, and blow someone up. You can't do that with Ags on Disruptor.
Oh, top lane, they want to kill this Ember. Alright, Disruptor does die to Chuan. Static Storm not gonna help you, and I guess this is their way of proving you wrong, but hold on, now they lay out the huge Luna ultimate, and Eclipse not really gonna do anything. But that right click flies through, should be killing off one here, one all the way inside the trees, and will die to the Geminate attack. And that's gonna be a 3 for 2 trade across the map, and they get the tier 2. So EVOS looking well on the way to actually taking game 3. I don't want to jinx it, but they're controlling the map way better now compared to WG.
It's just like draft. It's like they're playing it really well, but at the same time, it's Luna does not function in this kind of game because people just run at her, and what's her team gonna do to stop them? Sure, they have stuns, but they can't actually stand and fight. If they don't win the fight in the duration of a Raw, a triple Remnant, and a Laguna, and I guess an Eclipse, then you are just gonna get ran down. And there's enough heroes to tank it, there's enough healing through like the healing ward, refraction, and Weaver having time lapse and wands in general at this stage of the game, that it's impossible to do it in a 5-on-5 situation. And Luna does not want to play like pick off Dota. She wants to walk down a lane and after she pushes some creeps in and hit towers. It's how the hero functions. And she even went for like the tankiest build you can go. And it's irrelevant, because once she starts running, she's either dead or irrelevant in the fight.
Was the damage nerf to the Luna that big though? Do you think it was one of the reasons besides the Shadow Demon nerf? Or are there other...
I think it's for metagame.
Mm-hmm.
The nerf was like warranted just based on the pick rate, but I just don't think you can play the hero with how Shadow Demon got nerfed and how the meta's going right now. Unless you pick it into a situation where it's like feasible. This game, I think
Okay, getting the Light Strike Array into the Centaur. They even used the Roar for this. They were committing a lot of heroes, and of course with the Laguna Blade, that will be a Veil going down. And yeah, Chun getting more and more. Rams was thinking about going into the Luna, but immediately Hurricane Pike's out. And the lanes are just constantly being pushed out. And look at Blaisu, he almost has an Aghanim Scepter, just one more creep away. And they're just taking over the middle and the bottom lane. Like, there's very little space for WG to actually play around this map if you think about it. Like, they have good wards in the enemy jungle, but because of the movements of EVOS, they haven't found the opening to actually make any moves into that area.
And it's also like, you see how they get that kill on center? That's 4 heroes. They had to was it 3? I know it was at least 3. They have to commit like over half their lineup to get kills. And every time, Weaver's on the other side of the map pushing the lane in, and then in this case TA just shoves a wave in mid, and sure, you get their offlaner, but he's more like their 4th position at this point. He doesn't need any more items. I mean, an Axe would be nice, I suppose, but he serves his purpose as a blink initiator.
3-man smoke, this could be really big for EVOS, but Roshan's not up. If they can find the Lina kill, that could be that, and immediately, wow! Shreds her apart in 2 hits, and will they think
that's a tower as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be the tier 2 tower, and if anything, they're just reducing the response time for WG to contest Roshan in the first place. Like, yeah, they can TP to shrines, but without the tier 2s, that's just solo the map control going their way.
And now TA has a BKB. It's like there's no way you win a fight unless she's the hero you burst down first. But I believe Weaver has his Axe now. Yes, he does. So that is no longer.
They want to go high ground.
I mean, they can end the game here, honestly, or at least get a set of racks, which is kind of ending the game at this early.
Oh no, okay. I thought they could send it back further.
Stupid.
With WL, they get the tier 3 tower. That's a really big thing. And even then, WG.Youth, they just have no ways of initiating. Like you said, they don't have any go heroes unless Earthspirit goes in, but he was glimpsed back, so there was no way they could have started the fight.
Yeah, and if they do go in with like the Beastmaster Roar, it's not leading to a 1 fight. This is like their best situation where 2 or 3 of the cores blink away, and then you can maybe find a straggler, but they were not quite there quick enough, and EVOS recognized the situation as just an unnecessary risk. They could have maybe gone for Raxa, but the Shrines are a more controlled play. They can mitigate their losses a lot easier. As you just saw, it's a lot easier to back out.
Especially when you're talking about Roshan control. Taking care of the Shrine is definitely a bigger priority, a better objective, and less riskier as well.
Yeah, and they don't need to end the game now.
Oh, they're going again, and this time they smoked under a ward, so...
I don't think they can counterplay this at all.
WG have to back off. TA.
Yeah, they're just going to run for the hills, and then they're going to either take this tier 2 or go for Roche.
They ping them out. Oh, but looks like he may have found the Earthspirit, who did get a good kick. Looking for the Stampede. Do they actually overcommit for this? I don't think they do. One coming in with the Roar immediately, and of course with the glimpse back, I think they saw that coming. And of course, looks like there will be WL going down. Without the Magnetize, that's a lot of the damage actually being taken out.
And now it's back up for Roche, I think.
And of course with the TA coming in, very confident about taking this Roshan. Still has the BKB. 10-second BKB to boot.
Yeah, Ace just probably goes to Jug because of that. Then it just gives them these 2 pretty much unkillable heroes.
Before the Necro units come out, where's the Roshan? Alright, taken by Logic. He's gonna start spinning down onto Chun. Oh, but the Weaver save! Really big time lapse there with the Axe Weaver. And now, okay, looks like Xiang should also be going on one more right click. The glimpse back, goodbye Luna. And this actually maybe them breaking the bank to try and hold high ground.
Do they have a shrine? Yeah, they're gonna go bottom shrine, I think, and then try to look to push whatever they can.
Glimpse back. Hello, friend. Hello,
Radiant's
darkness.
middle tower is
So
under
they're just gonna
attack.
right click each other. They have the solar crest up. Vaisu, very easy kills. His damage amplified by that solar crest.
And he had like 10 swarm stacks on him as well, so his armor was fucked. And now their only solace is this Beastmaster might be able to split push, but Jug says no to that, as he doesn't have mana to roar and book.
Dire's
And you're not
top
going to do
tower
it for an
is under
Aegis
attack.
anyway, most likely, if you've got no escape plan.
So Ram's gonna take care of that shrine by himself. No hoots given. And there should be pretty much EVOS just starving out WG. What is there any item they are waiting for in particular? Like, okay, we look at the talents just a bit more. He actually went for the stats over evasion. Wouldn't you want to go for evasion like against the Luna?
On TA?
Yeah.
I don't really see the point of getting evasion in this game. It's such a small amount. And, I don't know, like, Luna's not the thing that you worry about.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
You're always going to be happy having stats, I think.
Well, also.
I mean, I can
guess-
see the argument for both,
Uh-huh.
but I really think it's just player preference. I'd
Ooh,
probably go with the stats.
The mystery.
Oh yeah, this is why Ember has trouble of Disruptor, you know.
Stomp.
Dying to, like, 2 supports.
You're really bent on calling this Centaur support, aren't you?
I mean, look at the farm distribution. He basically played the offlane position, but his Weaver's being the one who's taking the farm, and he's playing an Initiator. So, call it what you want, but he is not the 3rd position in terms of farm priority.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those things change throughout the game. Like, Jug is not a 1 position. He's a 2. It just so happens that they swapped lanes. You know, the 1 position's normally your safe laner, but TA...
Oh, top lane. They want to jump here. Can they get the TA kill? Yes, they can. That's
huge.
huge. That's a lot of gold. That's a ton of gold going the way of the Luna. Yields onto the creep.
Yeah, like the second his refraction got down, they got the jump. It couldn't have been timed any
Radiant's
better.
middle tower is under attack.
So WG is still finding themselves a bit more space into this game. Oh, trying for the
they're
change. The
getting
Lucent Beam, there we go. Now the Stampede as well. Flysuit does kill off WL. But meanwhile, trying to go for the Storm. Centaur is dead anyways. And actually it looks like EVOS. This is the throw. This is the throw right here. Chuan.
I mean, they're trying. They really are.
They are, and Jug, oh no, the Diffusal Blade and the solo Omni Slash, everything flying onto him, he gets another kill. But the Hurricane probably just to keep himself out. Chuan, thinking about coming back into the game, of course with Lucent Beam, Xiang finds himself to kill. WL also buys back, wow. 2 heroes buying back, they break the bank for that, and now they want to try to go into Vlysu, who does Chikuchi away. And WG, they want to try and push the high ground. Can they actually break high ground here?
I think they're just at the point where it's like, that's the most favourable fight they've seen the entire game, so why not use our buybacks and see what we can get from it. I don't think you want to blow buyback for a tier 3, and they still have Aegis, so they might have seen it as a window, but a bit optimistic maybe. I can't blame them though, because their options this game are just getting slimmer and slimmer. Luna's farming well, but the rest of the team feels like they're just stuns. That's all they really contribute, other than the Beastmaster who also contributes his Gem and like the Hawk vision. And Necrobook's still relevant at this stage of the game, but it's not going to win them a fight. What's going to win them a fight is like EVOS making some really stupid overextending plays. And even then it might still be okay, because Stampede and Time Lapse have a lot of ways to save your heroes. And they also have BKB and an Aegis still, which is going to last for another minute. Don't think it's enough for them to push any advantage from it though, so it's only 5 lives.
Alright, so is there any big item you would see coming out on WG next, which can somewhat secure them a bigger advantage in the game? Like maybe on
Satanic
the
on
Luna,
Luna.
Satanic on Luna, not Butterfly. She has the Luna, like the Luna quick buy has Butterfly coming up. Ember Spirit is going for the Shivas actually. I would have thought BKB, like I talked about it early on, especially against Disruptor, or even a Yoceptor for that matter.
I can see the Shivas because there's so much minus armor, and what's killing him is the armor, as opposed to I don't know, like, itemizing's hard, because they all kind of need 2 items.
He actually broke the smoke and just did a time-lapse back, so very nicely done. And trying for the stomp, and now they go for the stampede, looking for the kills, and WL going for the TP out immediately, looks like he will get out. And this is where WG actually back out. Yusuf will he try for a 10-on? That seems quite greedy, but actually no, it's going to be quick enough. And they give the kill to Xiang, so they still get themselves 1 freebie and Tuhoi, who was wandering a bit too far to the left by himself.
Yeah, he, as you said earlier, he's a pretty YOLO player. I don't think he gives 2 shits if he dies, if he can secure any sort of advantage for his team. But as long as there's no Aegis in play, I think the Radiant are pretty happy with how the game's going right now, because they're actually making things happen. Their morale's definitely going to be higher than when it was 8 minutes ago. And now Beastmaster has a Shadow Blade as well, so they've got multiple tools for him to initiate, and the game's looking up slightly. But I do feel like it is mostly EVOS making a few sloppy decisions.
Next big item coming up for Reveal will be that Ags, so we'll see if they can make something happen with that. Net worth wise, EVOS, no surprise, they are the ones with the advantage over almost 15,000. XP wise, just shy of 20k. iLogic is okay. Him as a jug, he's also going for a butterfly. Like, I don't think he knows that Luna's going for, you know, that butterfly soon. So I would have thought actually maybe he tried to hold that item. Maybe he could have considered an Abyssal Blade or maybe an MKB.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he went Abyssal, but one of the things with Butterfly is when you have a lead and you're looking to use your lead, like if he can get that around the next Aegis, which he's going to have it by the time Roche is off, then they can use that in a window where no one from Warriors Gaming is going to buy MKB. Like, Luna's an awful MKB hero. You only get it if you're so far ahead that you can afford to deviate from your normal items. And in a normal game, 20k net worth at 34 minutes, it's pretty damn good, but he's considered pretty far behind. Sure, the Jug might have a few thousand less gold, but I think Jug does way more in fights than Luna does at this stage. And half of that's because her team just doesn't quite fill the gap.
What have we here?
And they're basically playing against 3 cores. The Weaver's starting to itemize like aggressively as well now, so he's doing more and more damage. And Daedalus on TA means a few unlucky crits, and anyone dies without Ghost Scepter.
Even the Ember as well. And they have the Diffusal Blades even if they do have Ghost Scepters, but now going straight for the Stampede. Looks like the Glimpse back. They found themselves 1 quick target into 1.
That's a
but
gem.
they look for more EVOS, or was that the gem?
Yeah.
Ooh,
he was holding it, so
that's really, really bad for them.
It could have been worse. They at least got out with 4 heroes. They aren't going to have too much issues having map control because they have a Beastmaster. So the gem isn't as big a deal as it could be in other games, but I mean, it's still 900 gold, 1800 swing. Pretty good for 1 kill in a smoke. Especially when Roche is in and around spawn time. But he will be up for that, so it's just what they can do to control the pit.
Luna very, very close to that butterfly, or actually can afford it already, but at this point will be saving up for buyback and trying to obviously take that tier 1.
I think she has to YOLO, honestly. If she dies, the fight's lost. Like, I don't think the rest of the team can stall a fight long enough for her to buy back and come back into it and still be relevant. So I wouldn't be surprised if she buys out.
Alright, so WG now, they're kind of hovering around this Roshan pit. Of course, with the Hawk and the trap, both teams know that Roshan's up, and they need to figure out a way how to get the waves at least in their favor. Luna can try to use the Manta, but they also can use the Ember quite nicely. So they have that going for them, but unfortunately, EVOS, I feel like right now they're just prioritizing and making sure, okay, we take the Roche, we pretty much go high ground, that's it.
Yeah, they're playing more clinically at the moment. And because the other 2 waves are so far shoved in towards the base, they feel confident that if anyone's gonna A, not show on them.
Ooh, those
then
crits.
You know when to back out. Yeah, they just kill it so quickly. And there's big cheese if someone wants it.
And you can really see like they knew they could take the rush way too quickly before WG could even respond. So now they're just going to push up the top wave. With the wave in, of course, with the side lanes also pushing out, like mid included, they can actually, I think they take this melee lane, or this top lane of barracks, like quite easily. And they can even go for the second lane if they win the fight.
Yeah, this is as strong a window as any. Like, they have 4 of the top 5 net worth heroes. No one's really sitting on a huge amount of gold. Other than Jug's got 3k, but he has an Aegis and he hasn't got a slot he can change out. So they're playing very, very safe though. Like, even pushing out this bottom lane because they don't want to get split pushed. I think it's maybe a bit too much time.
Found a disruptor who tried for a solo kill here, and actually no, to get the stun. Just at the very tip, looks like disruptor will be dying.
Yeah, see, now this prolongs them, and that's good for Warriors. I don't really see why they went bottom. It's costing them at least a minute. Maybe more. I mean, if they want to go without Disruptor, then I guess it doesn't really matter, but he's pretty integral to your team fight with the ult and having an Ags.
Man, this is such a sad game to be an Spirit. WL, he's been actually doing quite okay, but if you look at his net worth, he's not even at 2k net worth, and this should have been a Lina 5? I don't know, I don't usually see a 5 Spirit, but in this case, he doesn't have a choice.
I think the best way to look at it is Earth Spirit's going to be the one who sets up kills out of the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lina's going to be the one who pushes waves. So that's naturally how you're going to distribute the farm between the two heroes. Lina creates kill chances by pushing waves in and then hanging around in the trees. Earth Spirit's just going to look for kills with other heroes, so he doesn't get the chance to farm.
Oh,
and he's also
with the gem.
bad.
Looks like this should be a solo kill here, but the kinetic field actually might save him. He has a stampede. Oh, that 50% damage reduction way too strong, and one will be dying here. They used the roll and the necro books. That's big. That's really big.
Yeah, he's up in 45 and he has buyback, but
oops, my bad. It's 40%.
his spells are not available when he's up. I mean, there's only like 20 seconds on the necro book. The cooldown reduction talent's doing a bit of work in that respect, but they need a bit more space than what he gave them. If Luna can siege, then great, but they're playing this so safe. They don't want to give anything away.
Luna doesn't feel safe split pushing because she knows she can get soloed by the TA, and if one more support comes in, it's pretty much a confirmed kill. So right now, EVOS considering going the high ground, but waiting for the something? Okay, I'm not sure.
They're just waiting for their TA to get back.
And they have the BKB once the Jug dies with the Aegis. So okay, going straight for the melee barracks. Just gonna spin and siege, but that right click from Xiang, he doesn't even
really
care.
Early BKB.
Is he gonna turn it? Yep, he's going straight for the Omni Slash, immediately Remnants out, so they're gonna blink out. They got what they needed already. So
I still have Aegis as well for a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
I think they actually shrine up, like at least for the Jug, and then they can think about going back to the middle lane.
Yeah, I mean, they could have given him cheese, but they've got the time, so makes sense. Kill Ancients, Shrine up. They could wait for some items, but I really like the idea of them just going and trying to end the game now. They're so strong. They're not really missing anything integral, it's all just icing on the cake kind of items.
Oh, getting the stun up onto the Weaver with the Laguna Blade. Can they get the quick kill? And the cheese pop! Very nice, and the Omnislash popping around. And actually, oh, they get 2. Can they make it a 3rd? Yes, they can. Luna will be forced to buy back. And Tron on the run right now. Glimpse. No, he's not going to be able to run out. He actually remnants away just in the nick of time. And the Jug knows he's there. He has to blink. He doesn't have any more diffusal charges. That's a really bad thing. But it's not like he'll need it. He can actually just go straight down the middle lane. He doesn't care. The team knows that as well. So they will just go straight to the middle lane. Try and take the tier.
Luna no buyback as well, so if they kill her, game over.
He still has the Aegis after all this time. Xiang is nowhere close to an MKB.
No, he went with the crit instead. Just value buy. He knows this is potentially the end of the game, so just spend his money on whatever could be valuable. You know, mini crit's decent.
Looking for the stun off the mark. Lucent Beam's gonna be there, but I think they just want to bait them out. And now the Aegis will be popped, so he has the BKB at least. The regen was cancelled from that last right click from the Lina. And yeah, they can just get the bottom lane back in their favor, and then they can just push that out.
Yeah, and they can shrine up as well, so the Aegis regen would have been nice, but they can heal up. Does anyone have anything to buy? Weaver nearly has a BKB, 5k on the TA, but he's not really gonna worry about swapping anything out unless he wants to be like Moonshard giver or BOT2. But
She has quick buy for MKB, so get rid of the Deso. Yeah, that makes sense.
I bought BOT2, so
Okay. But he still has the quick buy for the MKB, so he has that going for him, especially against if a butterfly on the Luna's butterfly. Yeah, it's gonna counter that. And now they just pretty much reset and do whatever they want. Like, EVOS have this game in the bag. It's up to them whether they want to win it or not.
yeah, it's just how long they want to wait and how safe they want to play. The longer this game goes, the more chance I think that Warriors can make a comeback. Just because of how they're like so much stronger relative now than they will be in 10 minutes. Even if they get another set of items, it's just like more time is generally better for the team that's on the back foot. Even if you control, what, like 9/10 of the map? I don't know how much it is as a ratio, but you get the idea.
And now they just go straight for the melee barracks. Ooh, those right clicks, the crits! iLogic will bring up one who will be forced to buy back, but they get the second melee barracks. Shuan blinking into the fray. Won't be able to kill anyone here. Won't get this chance for the chains, but the okay, gets the double sharing chains now. Trying for the smoke. Healing one's gonna pop out.
Still have time lapse.
They want to kill TA, but yeah, he still has time lapse. That's a really big spell to use.
Yeah, and the healing ward's still staying up, even though the Manta Illusions are running at it. They want to save the ward. Aww.
Poor kitty.
Oh well, it doesn't really matter.
And now the bottom lane's just gonna be pushed out. They want to end the game right here, right now. They're going straight for the jugular.
There's no reason not to. They don't have the range racks in either of a lane, but they just need to win one fight. Luna's still at a point where the buyback's on cooldown, so one kill on her should end the game. Spirit also decided to forego buyback and buy a blink. Can't blame him. The positioning's going to be way more impactful than a second life. I think the only person who should really care about buyback is probably the Ember. Because he's useful with a second life and he can get back into the fight really quickly. Everyone else is kind of like, you probably dropped your spells already.
Invisibility.
Alright.
And Centaur has a refresher now, so double Ag Stampede.
Double damage reduction as well, 40%, 40%. That's really big stuff. And
Yeah, it's 8
that's gonna help,
seconds.
especially if you time it right against the Laguna Blade. So
I mean, double stomp is nothing to underestimate either. If you find the Luna when she has no BKB, it's a lot of lockdown. Just over 5 seconds. That's definitely enough for TA to kill her. Or Jug. I think either will do. Both is definitely enough.
Right, so now they're going straight for the tower. The chains connect into him with the time lapse out. They can just keep doing this. It's such a short cooldown. And now they're going to start right clicking away. iLogic going for the Omni Slash, bouncing to the back line. Who does he bounce onto? No one. And actually, Ram's already taking care of one, no problemo. And they want to keep on going. Alright, into the shrine. Young's just going to die to Vaisu. Support killing support. And now Luna in the world of her. This will be the dieback. 2 minutes without the Luna. And this is the ending fight. This will be the GG right here, right now, as EVOS. They are the Warrior Slayers as they take care of both Warrior Gaming squads.
Oh, they played really well actually. I like both their Game 2 and Game 3 drafts. I'd say I'd favour them in like a small percentile, if not 10-15%. Both times, Game 2 and 3.
Rams had
And
a
they made
really
Game
good
1
game.
really close as well, with a huge outdraft on going the other way, I think.
They did, and I guess I just wasn't expecting. You know, when you have Luna, which has kind of fallen off, I expected the Ember Spirit to do a bit more, but he never really got the chance. Like you mentioned, it was a great call out from you on your part during the draft, but I don't know. I feel like Tuhoy needs to step up its game. Like dying those unnecessary deaths 3 times minimum each game from 1 to 3 that's just not ideal. It's just giving away extra gold to enemy cores. Like you saw, they even gave a couple of kills to Xiang a couple of times, but still EVOS did come out on top.
Sometimes you know the game's won and you relax a bit and you make 1 or 2 sloppy decisions. Then you just need someone to say, "What the fuck are you doing? Let's go do this. Group up as 5," and then I think that's very common in like teams who don't have a well-seasoned captain, because you know if you have like WG.Y as your captain, he's not going to let you make those mistakes ideally unless you make them yourself and you ignore him. But some of the lower captains generally, like, they lose a game plan or they ride the momentum and kind of just assume people are going to not fuck up, I suppose. At least that was the case when I was playing. So.
All right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our coverage for the Manila Masters for today. Well, for me, I'll be back on the 13th, but tomorrow I believe it'll be another caster on the channel. So anyways, of course, if you enjoyed the cards, you have any feedback, you can follow me at Hades.TV on Facebook and Twitter. And PQ, where can they find you?
I only have a Twitter, but it is PQMZDOTA_. Same stuff, just feedback of any description, flame me, praise me if you think I'm worth it, blah blah blah. And thank you for watching, boys.
Alright, thanks to everyone who's tuning in, and see you guys next time.